Hey everyone, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. I'm Dan Fates. Happy Friday. We have made it to another weekend, another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets. This time it is week 2. And honestly, I don't think we could have started out week 1 much better. 6-3 overall. And in all honesty, in the Baker Bowl that I had, the Panthers, we were a 58-yard field goal away. That would have missed, we would have been 7-2. So a really good start to the season. I hit all 3 of the plays on the Bills game, the under, Josh Allen rushing attempts over, and Gabe Davis receptions over. Also won the Ravens -7, the Lions +4, and the Bucs Cowboys under. Lost to Cardinals. That one was not even close. Steelers-Bengals game was really weird. And then obviously the Panthers pick'em game, kind of weird there at the end. As for this week, if you thought 9 plays was a lot, I'll do you one better. How about 10 plays this week? Yeah, I always talk about how shooters shoot. You can't make money. Scared money doesn't make money. Can't make money unless you put it in the middle. So let's go for 10 plays this week as we look to continue on the hot start from week 1. So as for this week, I like a lot of overs, actually. Last week I had 2 unders, only 1 over. My 1 over didn't hit. But I actually have a feeling of teams getting to really figure out where they needed to tighten things up offensively. And there were some moments from some teams that I actually really liked. And I think they can get better and improve more even in week 2 after another week of practice. So first game I have, Commanders at Lions over 48.5. Look, I'm not sure. I nailed my pick of the Lions last week. I said I didn't think they were a good team, but I also don't think they're a bad team. And the one thing I do know is they will play all the way until the end, which they did. But the Lions defense stinks. So I know they're going to give up points. Their offense is kind of scrappy, so I think they're actually going to score some. And then Carson Wentz is going to be the gift that is, he's kind of like what Jameis Winston was in my eyes back when he was in Tampa. He would have 30 touchdowns, but also 30 interceptions. So he was perfect for the over because either he would go down the field and score a touchdown or he would throw an interception and give the other offense, the opposing team, a short field. So I like the over in that one. Obviously, it's indoors in a dome. The Lions actually had sold out their stadium for the first time, not on a Thanksgiving in quite some time. Dan Campbell made a point to really emphasize that. I think they've got some decent pieces. So I actually really like the over here, 48.5. Second play. I've been saying it for a while. I love Brian Daboll. I love that man. I respect him and love him more than certain members of my family. I will take the Fighting Brian Daboll's -2.5. Coaching matters in the NFL. It really does. And that is on prime example last week when the Giants beat the Tennessee Titans. This is a Giants team that the roster really isn't really that much better than it was last season where they were disappointing. But you saw the energy. You saw Daboll dancing in the locker room. This team starts to think they're better than they really are. I still don't think they're a great team, but I think that Brian Daboll is a great head coach. And on the other side, I think Matt Rule's an idiot. So those two things, I am going to take the Giants -2 at home. Micah Hyde said it a few years ago. It's my favorite quote. I like to say it all the time. Confidence is a hell of a drug, and I think the Giants have a lot of confidence going into week 2. They think they're the better team. I think they have the better coach. I think they may have the better quarterback, but I think they have a better scheme. I think offensively, Brian Daboll pushing all the right buttons, guys believing in him. I will ride that momentum. I will ride that energy from Daboll and the Giants. I will lay 2 points at home. Give me the Fighting Brian Dabolls. All right. Colts, Jags. I was close to taking the Jags +4 points at home, but I'm not going to do that. I will take over 45. The Colts tied the Texans last week, but the Colts had 517 yards of total offense. They just only scored 20 points. They scored 17 in the fourth quarter. This is still a really good offense. Matt Ryan threw for over 350 yards. And I also liked what I saw from Travis Etienne and Doug Peterson in that Jaguars offense. I think that this game gets going a little bit. So I think both teams score 24 points in this one. So I would actually have this over around 48, but I will take over 45 Colts at Jaguars. Another over, third over of the card. Dolphins at Ravens over 44.5. Mike McDaniels, a lot of the same energy that Brian Daboll had. I think they carry that momentum. I think they're starting to believe that. Again, when you have a coach that the players believe in and that the players trust has their back and that the coach believes in the players, I think that that's worth a lot in the NFL. So I really liked what Mike McDaniels did, going for it on fourth down, beating the Patriots. I think is a nice touch. I like their offense more than I like their defense. I just think the Patriots offense absolutely stinks this year. On the other side, also the Ravens top 4 corners, they're all out, or they're at least missed practice. One guy towards ACL, Peters is also missing time. So I think Tua can actually have another solid day with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I like that offense. On the other side, if the Ravens defense is going to be banged up and they're going to need to score points, I have no problem betting on Lamar Jackson to go scorched earth again. I can see another 3 touchdowns. I love Lamar Jackson. I like the over 44.5 a lot this week. Okay, so those are the 4 plays. Next, Rams -10 at home against the Falcons. I am not going to overreact to a week 1 loss to the Bills at home. That is just, Bills are a really good team. We will get to them and their picks later. But Warren Sharp had the best stat that I based pretty much straight up 2 picks. I automatically put them on my card. Since 2011, teams that have played on Thursday night in week 1 are 17-3 straight up and 16-4 against the number in week 2. Not only are you getting extra rest, but a lot of times you're playing that Thursday night game, you're banged up, you're on short rest. That's not the case when you do that in week 1. You then get an extra 3 days head start to clean things up going into week 2. It's a huge advantage, especially for good coaches like Sean McVay is. I like the Rams -10 at home against the Falcons. I think they get things right. They were embarrassed. Extra time off. The trends, the numbers, all of those say that the Rams by double digits. All right, this one not crazy about, but I will take it. Cardinals, Raiders over 51.5. I think the Chargers defense is better than people think. We saw them play actually pretty well for the most part on Thursday night yesterday against the Chiefs. So I'm not panicking over what the Raiders offense is going to be. I like Josh McDaniels there. And then I just think the Cardinals defense may absolutely stink. So I will take a high scoring affair in that one. Give me the over 51.5 in the Cardinals at Vegas game. All right, other Monday night games. So now that is the slate for Sunday. Monday night, Vikings at Eagles. I'm going to take the under 50.5. I don't know what was going on with the Eagles defense last week against Detroit, but I don't think they're that bad. I think they're actually a much better defense. I'm going to bet against Kirk Cousins in primetime. I think the game just plays and has a sense of a more conservative feel. Teams kind of feeling each other out here. I just, Lincoln Financial Field just kind of smells like an under to me. So I will take under 50.5. I like the Vikings offensive attack, but I also really don't hate the Eagles secondary and what they can do. So I'm betting on both defenses in this one more than both offenses as I have for the rest of my card. And then finally to the Bills game. All right. Here's my thought. I'm taking the Bills -10, which they're the biggest favorite. That's the biggest, most they've been favored in a home opener since 1993 when they were 14-point favorites against New England. I'm taking the Bills -10. I will lay the big number for the same reasons that I'm doing it with the Rams. Extra rest, coming off of week 1, good coaches, it matters. I like that a lot. I think that Ken Dorsey passed the first test with flying colors. And the Bills had some adversity, which I really liked. So I'm going to lay the big number with the Bills at home. Highmark Stadium will be absolutely going bananas. So I like those trends. I'm not afraid to lay the big number here. I'm also going to take the Bills -6 in the first half. Look, this team did punt once again, and really the only thing that stopped the Bills in the first quarter was 3 turnovers. So if they don't turn the ball over 3 times, I think they lead the Rams game. This is a team that Ken Dorsey showed going back to the Brian Daboll days. They script plays really well coming out starting the game. So I think they ride the energy, they ride the emotion of that crowd, and I think they're up by a touchdown at halftime. So I'll take the Bills minus a half, in the -6 in the first half. And then finally, the over for this game has dropped. It was 49. I've seen it now at around 48, somewhere in that range. So Vegas is saying that they think it's a 30-20 game, Bills winning. I just don't see the Titans scoring 20 points. I really don't. Look, I know that Dane Jackson and Ed Oliver and Tim Settle and some of those guys are questionable for the Bills in the defense, but they still have Daquan Jones. They still have Jordan Phillips. They still have Von Miller, AJ Epinesa, a lot of those guys. I'm not overly concerned about stopping Derrick Henry. I know what he did the last game. These teams are very familiar with one another, but I'm not overly concerned that Ryan Tannehill, who he is now, I think he's turned back into a pumpkin and not this MVP caliber quarterback that he was for a few weeks. I just don't think this team, without AJ Brown, without some of their pieces, no Harold Landry is going to be on defense. I think the Bills just kind of have a field day with this one. So I don't like the over because I'm not trusting the Titans offense, but I will take the Bills team total over 28.5. I don't think there's any way that this defense, that the Titans defense can really slow down what the Bills will want to do, which is kind of what we saw what Brian Daboll did to them. And I know everybody says, oh, they're going to be an angry team. You know, we know that the Titans, they're going to want to bounce back. Yeah, I don't really buy that every single time. Every single week, most weeks, my buys, 14 to 15 teams lose. They don't all win the next week. Just because the Titans lost last week doesn't mean that they're this great team that will bounce back. Maybe they're just a bad team. Maybe they just don't have enough pieces on offense. And for a Derrick Henry who went off for about 140 plus yards in last season's game, the three matchups before, the Bills held Derrick Henry to under 80 yards. So yeah, I know you can't take out the big 75-yard touchdown run that he had last year, but for the most part, the Bills have done a pretty good job of bottling him up. I'm a little concerned that if Dane Jackson can't go, it's two rookie corners. But again, you have Micah Hyde, you have Jordan Poyer behind him, you have the crowd affecting Ryan Tannehill and the wide receivers. So that's what I like. And I haven't even looked at props yet. So like there may be some late ads on the Buffalo Plus article that I have posted. Like I said, that article comes out on every Thursday. These videos will come out Friday. One more quick recap of my board here as we talked about on the folder. Commanders, Lions over 48.5. Giants -2. Colts, Jags over 45. Dolphins, Ravens over 44.5. Rams -10. Cardinals, Raiders over 51.5. Vikings, Eagles under 50.5. Bills -10. Bills -6 first half. Bills team total over 28.5. Look, these are all lines that I've already locked in. So however the line moves, it can hurt you if you wait. I know weather could be a factor. So if you want to wait to see what the over is for the Bills team total, I can understand that. But I'm just going to bet on this offense continuing. Bright lights, prime time. They have shown that they rise to the occasion. So I'll take the Bills. I'm betting on the Bills to score 4 touchdowns. I don't think that's crazy to think that the Bills will score 4 touchdowns against the Titans. Stay posted. Follow me on Twitter at Dan Fates. We'll have more bets and best of luck. 6-3 week 1, 10 plays. I think this is the most ever I've had in my 4 years of doing the best bets. So big double-digit card for the first time ever, including 5 overs. I like offense this week. Life's too short to bet the under. Give me all of the points. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. I'm Dan Fates. Have a great weekend. Best of luck.